It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the South region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors South.
If you like bass fishing, boy, are you going to love the next half hour. Right now, I'd like to bring you aboard to a very special fishing location in these United States. Welcome in to beautiful Kentucky Lake. This entire area is very historic. You've got Kentucky Lake running parallel with Barkley Lake. In between is the place called Land Between the Lakes. It's got lots of Civil War history and national park and much more. But in these lakes reside literally some of the best fishing our United States has to offer. And on today's show, we're going to experience that and allow you in the Nitro Z8 to go along with us. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to feed you a lot of information, tips, techniques, and tidbits if you would like to plan your own fishing trip here. While I'm out doing that, you get to go around your local region for your fishing reports from your favorite lakes, rivers, and bays with our expert team of insider reporters. We'll be joined in the boat by Crispin Powley, who is our Tennessee, Kentucky reporter for the Southeast version of our show on Fox Sports South. And he also lives on the lake right here and is a recognized expert. Let's get this thing started right now. I am pumped. Right now, you go back to the FSN studios for your weekend planning.
If you can avoid the holiday crowds on the lake, Independence Day looks like a good fishing opportunity. The Salooner tables are predicting some of the best fishing of the month to start in the afternoon around 4:30 on the 4th of July. Expect the sun to rise at 6:08 and set at 8:40. And we'll have a first quarter moon over the weekend, so the moon will be about halfway illuminated. We're coming right back with all the current freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the Southeast. Plus, Ott Defoe joins us on the Ask the Pro feature.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Luz, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. By Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
You got one?
Yep. That's a pretty good one too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I got one too. We got doubles. We got doubles. Oh, that's a good fish. Look, I got two big ones. Oh, the second one jumped off. Unbelievable. I had two big ones on the same crankbait. Can you believe that? Hey, welcome back everybody. You're on Fox Sports Outdoors. And we pulled out here on a ledge. I got it loose. Look what we've done. Two decent fish right off the bat. Crispin Powley's with us. We introduced him earlier, and we'll let these two fish go back. Unbelievable.
You know, this is a big body of water. It's real windy out here, as you can tell. And you just sit out here and you fight it. I mean, these schools live offshore, and when you hit them with that big 10XD or that football jig like I'm throwing, you get better than average quality fish.
Well, let's tell you just a little bit about Kentucky Lake. It's 184 miles from dam to dam. A lot of water, 160,000 surface acres. When you combine it with Barkley next door, 220,000 surface acres. So this is a lot of water.
It is,
right
and it's a little bit intimidating for people coming here, but the fish, as you've just seen, are all real congregated. When you find them, you found them.
I've never done that before. I've never caught two on the same
crankbait
like that.
The thing about the 10XD is such a big bait, and those school fish are real competitive. And I think when you hook one, a lot of times there's still enough bait hanging out of that fish's mouth. Have you ever caught a fish and seen other fish swimming around?
Absolutely.
Well, I think that fish that bait rather is big enough that it gives that second fish an opportunity to still get a hold of something.
And you've caught two 8-pounders on the same.
Well, I've caught my biggest two have been an 8 and a 6 on one cast.
Unbelievable. We're going to get our wits back about us here after a jolting start right there and get you to some fishing reports. Let's go to the Carolinas and English Bluff.
Hey folks, Captain E here with your Carolinas report, this week brought to you by Marshall's Marine, located in Lake City and Georgetown, South Carolina. For all your nitro and bass tracker needs and for family-friendly fun, visit the bass boat leader since 1969 at www.marshallsmarine.com. And I tell you what, I know this week starts a lot of your family vacations. You're going to be out and traveling the coast of the Carolinas. make sure to stop by small towns just like this. We're in McClellanville, South Carolina, located centrally between Georgetown and Charleston, a beautiful town that has such a rich history, not only in our local fishing history, but in the nationwide fishing history here, and especially in the commercial side of things. Stop by these beautiful towns and make a day trip out of it. You won't regret it. And I'll tell you what, along the sides of fishing, we got some great inshore fishing action along the coast right now as the redfish are really starting to school up on those mullet that are moving into all the estuaries. And don't forget that early morning trout bite with some topwater action. On the reefs right now, the spadefish continue to be a go-to species here in South Carolina, and the flounder that are starting to move into the reefs right now are huge. If you're getting out there right now, make sure you go with big bait, because big bait is going to catch a big fish. A Carolina rig fishing on those reefs right now is sure to land some of the biggest doormats of the season. The offshore fishery is starting to slow down as far as the meat goes a little bit, but the billfish have really showed up in the Carolinas, and when the recent big billfish tournament out of Pirates Cove, North Carolina, there were several fish over 500 pounds that were also killed and brought in for that wonderful tournament located up there. And in the freshwater side of things, I've got a good friend who is up in the mountain areas of North Carolina who asked me why I'm never really talking about the fly fishing in the rivers up there. Well, we're going to talk about Nantahala fly fishing right now. I tell you what, they've got an unbelievable fishery up there. As the North Carolina Fisheries releases trout in that Nantahala River, you can get up there and go with these guys and have a great time. And also in the summer heat, get on those cold streams in no shade and enjoy some wonderful fishing action with some great people up there. And also the catfish bite is continuing to improve, and Stevie Pack tells me at Pack's Landing that he's still catching some real big fish that are actually full of roe right now. So that hatchery may be coming a little bit late, so get out and get on those stumps and in those shaded areas and get ready for some of the best catfishing of the season. Hey, this has been your Carolinas Report. I'm Captain E. Remember, work smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
There's one, Barry.
You got one? Got one on a jig?
Yeah, I picked a football jig up. That's a decent fish.
Fish.
Oh,
Pulled off.
quick release.
Out here on a ledge, bucking the wind. Hey, you got to have good equipment if you're going to come out here. You better have a pretty good sized boat, good trolling motor, big batteries, fully charged. You got to come out here battle worthy if you're going to do this.
Yeah, this is a rough playground out here. I mean, it's a big body of water, and the wind is the deciding factor on how well you do in most cases. And if your equipment won't hold up to it, you're out of the game. There's a good one.
Got him? All right. I'm going to net him for you. That's a good fish.
He thinks he's bad. He is pretty bad.
All right, Crispin, way to go. Look at that dude.
That's a nice one right there.
That's a typical Kentucky Lake bass right there. Welcome back, everybody. Fox Sports Outdoors. We're with Crispin Pally, our Southeast reporter, out here rocking and rolling in big waves on Kentucky Lake. We're out in the wind, fishing big rock ledges falling off into the Tennessee River channel. And that's what we're fishing for. Crispin, let's release the bass first. Current plays a big part of what you do here, correct?
It does. This is a this lake is impounded for hydroelectric purposes, which they generate water through the dam to provide electricity for the Tennessee Valley region. What that does is basically these fish are very tuned in to the current flow. When that current kicks on, the food chain just kind of comes to life and they start eating.
So you've got to position your boat with that current as well,
Sure.
and you've got to make your cast in a certain way. How do you position your boat? What direction do you cast?
Kentucky Lake runs predominantly north and south, and the current runs from south to north. And what you need to do to be most efficient, to give the best presentation, is most of the river channels obviously run parallel, you know, they run north and south. So position your boat where you're casting kind of 45 degrees into the current and bringing your bait back with the current. Because the fish, I just feel like that they've just learned to set up facing into the current because that's where their meals come from.
And you pull your bait right back into them.
Sure.
Well, you did it on about a 5-pounder
yeah,
right there.
that was pretty good.
Way to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's get you some more local fishing reports from your area. We're going to rock and roll in the wind a little bit more out here on Kentucky Lake.
Welcome to the Freshwater Fishing Report for Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. This week's coverage is brought to you by the Old 96 District, South Carolina's real freshwater coast. Lakes Greenwood, Russell, and Thurman offer outdoor adventures and angling action. For fun family weekends or vacations, visit the historic Old 96 District. July is upon us now, and the Savannah River reservoirs of Richard Russell and Strom Thurmond are offering a double dose of striped bass action in northeast Georgia. These lakes form the border between the Peach State and the Old 96 District of South Carolina. Thurmond Reservoir is 71,000 acres, and in Georgia it's better known as Clark's Hill Lake. This impoundment has a large population of 6 and 7 pound stripers. The best place to find these fish is in the mouths of feeder streams right now. You want a slow troll blueback herring on a planer board to cover a lot of water to find these stripers. In Lake Russell, it's a trophy fishery for striped bass. You won't catch as many, but they're going to average 12 pounds in size, and 20 pounders are common. Places to fish here are the tail race just below Hartwell Dam in the upper lake, or in the lower lake, or the deep water around Russell Dam. Toss swim baits and bucktail jigs. In Mississippi, Natchez State Park Lake offers some good summertime largemouth action. These bass chase the shad schools to the surface where they feed on them. You want to toss a topwater lure into this feeding melee to catch the smaller largemouths. If you want a lunker, throw a 6-inch soft jerk bait, let it sink, get deep, that's where the big ones are. In Alabama, the flathead catfish are biting on the lower Cahaba River near Selma. You want to use a live brim or a bullhead for bait, fish it in one of the deep holes in a bend of the river. These fish will run from pan size up to 35 pounders.
This part of the program is brought to you by the state of Mississippi, where the fishing fun is year-round and the inshore angling is world-class, and so is the offshore fishing too. So come to the true South, Mississippi. Fishing this week has gotten really great in a lot of areas. Over in coastal Georgia, Captain Greg Hildreth has been absolutely tearing up Atlantic spadefish. These are big fish, 6 to 12 pounds. Not that many people really know about spadefish along the Georgia coast, and not that many anglers catch them, but Greg is wearing them out. He's fishing with jelly balls that he picks up and away offshore. These fish are being caught on the reefs in about 40 to 60 feet of water on A, C, F, and J reefs out of St. Simons and Cumberland Island. He's been catching these fish by bare hands once he chums them up to the boat. They don't have any teeth. They're extremely strong. They're great to catch. It's a fun family day. He was out with Jeff Smith and Floyd Robbins of Savannah, and they caught just dozens of these spadefish. They're very, very vulnerable to angling, and anglers should show some restraint in taking these fish. They're good to eat, they're fun to catch, and they shot some wonderful photographs of these fish underwater. It's like looking into an aquarium. In Alabama, my friend Jake Marcus tells me that the fishing is getting much, much better in Mobile Bay, Dauphin Island, especially the west end, and around Fort Morgan. The water's clearing up and the trout up to 6 pounds are being caught. The beach areas have been especially good for anglers using live shrimp and grub jigs. In Mississippi, it's much the same story. Good fishing for trout and flounder continues, and there's some great family action around the coastal islands of Mississippi now. They're catching a fish they call ground mullet, which was really a Gulf kingfish, a type of whiting. They range to about 1 pound. You catch them on live shrimp, and they are just great eating, and it's a fun family day. So go fishing this weekend and take the family with you.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Welcome to the big leagues.
Got him.
Got one?
Yep, right off the ledge, right out here off this real deep ledge. Feels like going, up he comes.
Oh yeah, that's a good
fish.
one. You want me to net this one?
Yeah. Oh. You're a good tournament netter, you know it?
That's just what I know how to do. What a
All
nice
right,
fish.
There's a nice fish right there. Welcome back, everybody. Fox Sports Outdoors bringing you to beautiful Kentucky Lake. And I gotta tell you this now, this is my first time to throw this big old crankbait. I am so impressed. That is such a blast. Strike King 10XD, catching good ones like that. We're with Crispin Powley today, and I'm gonna go ahead and release this fish. This is a whole different deal for me, but these fish are living out here offshore
Right.
Not necessarily in deep water, but
Correct.
people would come to this lake and start fishing around the shoreline. They wouldn't be fishing around where most of the good gangs of fish are, right?
Sure. Predominantly throughout the year, the biggest concentration of fish on Kentucky Lake is offshore, meaning they're relating to some type of structural feature, be it the main river channel like what we're fishing, creek channels, humps, flats with ditches cut through them. These fish are just, I guess, genetically predisposed throughout the generations of this is what they do. They feed offshore. They're very current oriented, which the current affects this river channel more than anywhere. I would explain the lake in 3 different distinct regions. From the Highway 68 bridge north is the lower end of the lake. That's the Kentucky waters. It's deeper. The offshore stuff's deeper, clearer. This is the midsection of the lake from about 68 to about the Danville area. From Danville south is what we refer to as the New Johnsonville area. Very flat, much shallower, still offshore stuff, but just tons of hydrilla.
Okay, let's get your fishing reports from the rest of Tennessee and the state of Kentucky. Let's go right back here to Christie.
Hey guys, the hottest thing going right now in the middle of the summer is the daytime. So everybody I'm hearing the really good fishing reports from, they're just not fishing in the day. Most of the big catches are coming at night, all throughout the Tennessee and Kentucky region. Center Hill, Dale Hollow, Percy Priest, Old Hickory, those lakes all have a just spectacular nighttime bite. Black and blue jigs, black spinner baits, big dark colored worms like the big 10-inch thumper worm. And guys, my personal favorite, nobody really does this a lot, a little black crankbait, like a Series 3 or 3XD in black is my killer at night in that region. Aside from that, catfishing's really good on the Cumberland River. Find days when they're generating current and those big catfish will get up on those river flats. Crappie bite's a little slow. It's kind of starting to wane a little bit. You can still catch some trolling offshore, but that bite will pick up again here as summer winds down and turns into fall. But guys, right now it's all about night fishing. If you come to Tennessee and Kentucky, just expect to bring your black lights, leave your sunscreen at home, bring some bug repellent, and go chase them after dark. Guys, we'd love to see you on the water in Tennessee and Kentucky. God bless.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. By Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. And by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro feature where viewers can get insider tips from professional anglers. This week's question comes from Randy, who would like to know, how do you catch suspended bass in a reservoir with little structure and little cover? For the answer, we checked with Bassmaster Elite Angler Ott Defoe.
There's a couple ways that I really like to catch suspended bass in a lake that doesn't have a lot of cover. 2 things really come to mind, either a drop shot or a swim bait. With the swim bait, I'm going to throw it out and let it either count it down to those fish and begin a slow, steady retrieve, or let it go to the bottom, then just reel it back through them. With the drop shot, for me, that's going to be a vertical deal. I'm going to drop it right down, get my boat right over the top of those fish, and drop it right down to them.
Thanks, Ott. If you need help from one of the pros, visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now let's see who wins a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
We're back here at the beautiful Fishtail Lodge out of Paris, Tennessee, and let me get you all the information if you'd like to book your very own bass fishing trip here to Kentucky Lake, and it begins with your lodging here at Fishtail. Sharon and her crew do a fantastic job, very comfortable, very convenient and close to the lake. Everything you need is right here in the area. Book your trip at Fishtail Lodge and we'll put their information right up on the screen. And here's your little insider tip. Just across the parking lot, make sure you don't miss eating dinner at Mio Mayo's. Mark Berg and his crew do a great job there. It's named after the Jambalaya song that Hank Williams Jr. sings because Hank Jr. lives right down the street. So you don't want to miss a trip to Mio Mayo's for some fantastic Cajun cooking as well. If you want to book a guide trip, contact Sam Lashley. Here's his information as well, and he can get you out on these fish and teach you all about this river ledge fishing that goes on here at Kentucky Lake. Time right now for the Costa Catch of the Week. Someone wins a free pair of sunglasses. She is Carolyn Henry of Morehead City, North Carolina, showing a 480-pound blue marlin she caught in the Atlantic off Swansboro, North Carolina. And the only way that you can be eligible to win a free pair of Costa sunglasses is by entering the Costa Catch of the Week contest. Go to foxsportsoutdoors.com. On the right-hand side of the front page is the Costa Catch of the Week box. Click there, follow the instructions, send us your photo, and if you win, you'll win your very own pair of Costa sunglasses. You can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles by going back to the front page of our website and clicking on the Costa logo. You can see everything they offer right there, including the frame style that I was wearing on this week's episode called Brine. Next up on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, the gear you use here at Kentucky Lake to catch these good bass is very critical. Let me talk to you about baits first. You really can get by with only two baits here. One would be the Strike King 10XD, deep diving crankbait. It will dive as deep as 20 feet. You can go down to the 6XD as well, but I have fallen in love with that 10XD at the bottom of your screen. And then at the top of your screen is a football jig or a hard head with a biffle bug. It's a Jean LaRue biffle bug. That's a beautiful color right here for Kentucky Lake. One other piece of gear that's extra critical here on Kentucky Lake is your battery performance. We ground on that trolling motor out there for 2 straight days against that hard current, against the wind with our brand new X-Side AGM Edge batteries, and they held up fantastic. Go to your local Academy Sports and Outdoors store, ask to see and to talk about the X-Side AGM Edge batteries. They will hold up, and we rely on them 100% of the time when we're out in our nitro bass boat. My Pawpaw Burger taught me a saying when I was just a little bitty kid that said, it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. It's a lot like the Boy Scout motto that says, be prepared. So many folks wander aimlessly through life, living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, with very little thought about what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next year. Barry's saying says, it's hard to live a dream without having one. One of the great things about living in our country, America, is that you get to choose whether you have a dream, a goal in life. And if you do choose to have that dream and have that goal, usually the rewards in America go to the folks who are willing to plan, work, and prepare to achieve that dream. Hey, I hope you enjoyed our trip today with Crisp and Pally out on beautiful Kentucky Lake. What a great fishery this is. One of the hottest lakes anywhere in America. I think you would thoroughly enjoy a trip here. Don't forget to join us next week on the show. We'll be on Thursday at 6 p.m. with the repeat airing Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. And don't forget to like us on Facebook for all the latest news and photos and video. But for even more of the very latest, we put our best stuff on Twitter. Follow us on our Twitter feed at the Twitter address you see on your screen. From Kentucky Lake in Tennessee, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.